All right, let's talk about a pretty huge shift that's happening right now with AI. We're all used to asking AI for ideas, right? For help thinking. Well, a new wave of AI is here, and it's not just about thinking, it's designed to do things for you. We're talking about operating your computer, using your apps, and completing tasks on your behalf. This is the rise of the AI operator, and honestly, it's changing everything.
This quote just nails it. It perfectly captures this massive shift we're seeing. We're moving away from AI as a thought partner and towards AI as a digital coworker. Now, that makes AI way more powerful, for sure. But it also raises the stakes, because when an AI can actually act on your behalf, things like trust and reliability suddenly become the most important features of all.
So, to really get our heads around this new landscape, we're going to map it out in 4 simple steps. First, we'll look at what this new reality actually looks like. Then, we'll meet the companies who are building it. After that, we'll dig into the critical trade-offs they're all facing, and finally, we'll talk about what it's going to take to win the race for our trust.
Okay, so first things first, let's get a really crystal clear picture of what we're talking about here. What does it actually mean for an AI to learn how to do?
Well, an AI computer operator, it does pretty much what its name says. It's not just stuck inside a chat window anymore. It's actively interacting with your digital world. It can open your apps, read your local files, browse the web, and fill out forms to get a job done, basically just like a person would.
Here's the difference in a nutshell. Think of a traditional chatbot as your brainstorming partner. It helps you think. An AI operator, on the other hand, is a digital assistant. It helps you do. And that is a huge leap. We're talking about going from simply drafting an email to actually managing your entire inbox. The capability is just fundamentally different.
So, who's actually building this future? Let's take a look at 5 of the key players, because each one is placing a very different bet on how we're all going to work with AI.
First up is OpenClaw. You can think of this as the open source catalyst that really pushed this whole idea into the spotlight. It's designed to be this always-on assistant that you can host yourself, which makes it perfect for developers and early adopters who really want to get their hands dirty and experiment.
And this really highlights that classic open source dilemma, doesn't it? Its greatest strength, the fact that it's so open and flexible, is also its biggest risk. Without any built-in guardrails, reliability and privacy become major concerns. It kind of forces you, the user, to take on all that responsibility yourself. Now, in response to those open source risks, our second player enters the scene, NVIDIA's NemoClaw. It's not really a new assistant itself, but more of a security and governance layer that's designed to sit on top of these open models. So think of it as the enterprise-grade safety system, built to make AI operators trustworthy enough for businesses to actually use.
So yeah, NemoClaw's strength is super clear. It provides all the safety and policy controls that businesses desperately need. The flip side, of course, is that it's pretty heavy on infrastructure and not really designed for the average person. It's a professional tool for a professional problem.
All right, shifting gears a bit, we have Perplexity Computer. This is the consumer-focused play. Perplexity, who we already know for their amazing answer engine, is expanding into an action engine. The goal is to help their massive user base with web tasks, things like booking flights or completing online forms.
Perplexity's strategy is pretty straightforward. Bet on a polished, accessible user experience for the masses. The trade-off? Well, it might not have the same deep, local computer control that some of the more developer-focused tools are aiming for. It's really a classic case of polish versus power.
And speaking of deep control, let's talk about Manus. This is where things get really, really powerful. Manus basically gives the AI direct access to your computer's command line, or the terminal. For developers and power users, this unlocks a whole new level of automation.
And this right here, this highlights the core tension in this entire category. You know the saying, with great power comes great responsibility? That's exactly it. The more access an AI has to your local system, the more critical trust, security, and reliability become. One little mistake here is so much more costly than a chatbot just hallucinating a fact. And finally, we have Claude Cowork from Anthropic. This is their big bet on a polished, professional AI coworker. It's designed to live right on your desktop and handle complex, multi-step tasks for knowledge workers. We're talking about things like creating a full report completely from scratch.
Claude Cowork's biggest strength is its mainstream, business-friendly packaging, and it comes from a trusted AI leader. But, like a lot of others in this space, it still faces some reliability hurdles. For really complex tasks, you might find it needs a few attempts to get the job done just right.
You know, it's also important to remember that this whole idea didn't just pop up out of nowhere.
Earlier projects like OpenAI's Operator and Google's Project Mariner were absolutely crucial. They were the ones that proved that an AI could even operate a browser in the first place. They really laid the conceptual groundwork for the more powerful desktop-level systems that we're seeing today.
Okay, so we've met the players. Now let's zoom out a bit and try to identify the fundamental themes and, really, the battlegrounds that are defining this new competitive landscape.
Looking at them all together like this, you can really see the distinct strategies at play. You've got the open source catalyst, the enterprise security layer, the polished consumer tool, the power user's dream, and the professional AI coworker. Each one of these is a completely different bet on what the future is going to look like.
And if you boil it all down, three critical themes really start to emerge. First, the entire market is shifting from answer engines to action engines. Second, because of that shift, trust is becoming just as important as raw intelligence. And third, the new competitive frontier is local access, the ability to safely operate your actual computer.
So what's it going to take to win on this new frontier? The answer, well, it's not as simple as just having the smartest AI.
Winning in this space isn't just about having the most intelligent model. It's really about mastering a very difficult balancing act. You have to create autonomy that's genuinely useful, wrap it in controls that make it trustworthy, and then deliver all of that in a package that provides practical, everyday value.
And that, right there, is the ultimate question. The proof of concept phase is over. We know AI can operate a computer. The real race now is about who can make it reliable, safe, and useful enough that it becomes an absolutely indispensable part of our daily work.